I never switch.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Jets. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now. 18 Gator, check 53.
Got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Shoot.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Saquon Barkley, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Let's go, boy. Bring it up.
The Jets take over.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll come up now, 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are. And now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Saquon Barkley with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 27 yards there, a first down. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Darnold. Forced out to, and he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Yeah, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. 47 marks.
Darnold from the gun. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Hey, high 7.
Now Darnold, that escapes the sack. Dancing to his left. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. Sam Darnold, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
This will be fielded at the 6. Gets past 1 man. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Buying time to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check. Snap.
Now Saquon Barkley. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Back to throw. Herbert. And he's got Snead. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Here we go. Set. 60 or.
53. Line 53. Check.
Now.
Watch the ship.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Another try for Barkley. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Saquon Barkley doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying.
And now look at him go. Touchdown, New Orleans. runs. Saquon Barkley on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And it's caught by Herndon. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. David Onyemata there on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. He's got the hook up with Conley. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
58 to Mike. You don't want none of that. Lady. 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike.
Darnold from the red zone now. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's complete to Snead. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. To throw on second down. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
At the 26-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Watch the pass. 4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic.
Here's Darnold. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You've got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looking to throw on second down. Darnold, and he's got it complete to Anderson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
59. We take the wings home.
And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Here we go.
From the gun on third down. Herbert will get this out to Barkley, complete. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
Here we go. Set. 8. Read.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Let's go.
On first and 10, Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's a quick throw out wide to Dorsett. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Barkley. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
From the 50, it's Darnold. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Heavy on the edges.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Saquon Barkley, 94 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm. Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Darnold now to throw. Open man is Robbie Anderson. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long. Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll give this to Singletary running right. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll run on first down with Singletary. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3. Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen. It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday. Which was also impressive. Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team. That one, a first down pickup of 8. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games. Barkley unable to get away on the first down run as he'll be stopped for a loss of a couple. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
70, Indy. Bring it. 5.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, inbounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Hey, Orbit.
Hey, defense. Hey, defense.
Looking to throw. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost. We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
Come on, set. 8, read.
Check 53, slide.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today. Shoot.
And they'll indeed take a knee. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This a 43-yard attempt. And it's no good. Lutz pulled it, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Now a pass taken in by the tight end Herndon and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. They'll look to throw here. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Hey, let's go.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Whoa! Let's get it. 6 ladies. 6 guys.
Singletary again. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. One last throw down for Darnold. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Tre'Davious White with a pick. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for New Orleans, they're into the win column for the 3rd time this year as they get the victory here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Jets, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next. Well, we'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.